Hello, everybody. We are those guys you hate.
Welcome to the show that encourages you to be your best self by not being like us.
My brother and I hopelessly search for nuance as we wade through wacky segments and crazy conversations.
If you can withstand the insanity, you might actually learn something.
Tyler, what will you be discussing this week?
Ryan, to make the awkward experience of giving gifts less so, I have a brand new hear ye that will make the whole experience that much easier on everyone. You're welcome. And Elon Musk has 10 kids? What about you, Ryan?
I did not know that. What is a sign that you don't want to fight somebody? We get into that probably if they have 10 kids. And a casual chat about paradoxical undressing. So let's get down to it. Tyler, you are not a violent man. Have you ever been in a fight?
No, there was the one time our oldest brother, Mikey Menendez, put me in a wrestling move and popped the blood vessels under my eyes.
Sure.
But in terms of a fight where I actually stood a chance, no, never been in one of those.
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
Story for another time.
But I've been in one fight. It was a strange fight. Perhaps I will tell that story one day. But you and I are not fighters. But I need for you to put yourself in a hypothetical state of mind, because I want to know from you, what is a sign that you don't want to fight somebody? I mean, of course, muscles. Like, the bigger somebody is, the more intimidating they are, the less likely that you want to fight them. But what are some other things that will make you...
People who are silent.
People
when you're
who
about to fight somebody
silent.
and
so they have mutes.
They have no interest in talking shit.
Sure.
They have no interest in going back and forth with you. They are just staring you down and going, let's go. I don't want any part of that confidence.
I think that is 100% great point. I actually tried to do some research on this. I looked it up hoping that I could find a list of signs of people that you don't want to fight so the internet would do my work for me.
That's tough.
But all I found was just like, Quora answers saying basically what you're talking about. The person who's not yelling in your face, the person who isn't bravado, they're just like, hey, I've got a 3:30 tea time. Let's do this.
Let's go already.
Let's go. Hold my earrings. Let's get this cracking.
Yeah.
But I saw somebody at the gym with a full neck tattoo and not a particularly big guy or anything like that. But I just thought I wouldn't want to fight you. You look a neck tattoo. It just gives off. I don't give a shit. A neck tattoo, face tattoo. I'm not looking to be gainfully employed. I'll beat the shit out of you, man.
I don't think forward in life. I act now. I act right now.
This guy will at no point be wearing a 3-piece suit unless he's like a defendant in something.
That's fair. And that goes directly to nature, because to ward off predators and to ward off adversaries, the animals have bright colors and whatnot.
Or a bird will get a face tattoo.
Or that.
Just one teardrop. I feel like if I just got one teardrop, people would leave me alone.
It's hard to find a tattoo artist who will take that job.
Yeah, I agree. And I need some sort of a press-on situation. But so I asked you to line up the yes or no noises. Can you think of anything else? I hope you don't guess any on my list, but I want you to. I'm gonna read some things off. You say yes, that would make me less likely to fight them, or no, I don't factor that in when ready to rumble, Tyler. What do you call fighting?
Fighting.
Oh. Well. That didn't go where I had hoped.
You answered your own question.
How about that?
I guess if somebody has brass knuckles, I put my fist up, my fisticuffs up, and all of a sudden this guy puts on brass knuckles on both hands.
I've never seen real brass knuckles in my life.
One time.
Have you?
And they used them. It was terrible.
What?
Yeah, I was in high school. Some kid pulled brass knuckles out and punched another kid in the back of the skull with
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was horrific.
High school is tough,
It was horrific.
I saw one time in high school, not to be derailed, because it's very important that we get down to this
For
time.
sure.
This is a scientific poll that we're doing. I saw 2 girls fight. Yeah. And I'm sure a bunch of guys at home are like, ooh, sexy.
No.
One girl was rubbing the other girl's face into the concrete, and not unlike the way you would use sandpaper. And it stuck with me. I'm actually having some sort of a flashback right now. I can't look at that stuff, man. Nah. The sound of somebody being punched, the after effects of somebody being punched, I don't like it.
Yeah, I tried to show you the Mike Tyson video where he was just laying on this one dude. It wasn't even that bad.
I wonder why I have such a reaction to that. It honestly, it is a shitty quality. And what we're referring to is when somebody tries to not just show me physical violence or somebody who's in pain, even if they just discuss it, it runs through me. Like it hurts me and I can't hear it.
Mhm.
It's very selfish. If somebody's been hurt, I'm not very helpful.
That's what I told my group of friends last night. Had a D&D night last night.
Yeah, okay.
It was amazing.
Let's get into that in a little bit. We'll wrap this up. I want to know about D&D.
I made this very same comment to them where I told one of my friends' wives where I was like, listen, if you and I are in a trapped in a room together and you have a life-threatening emergency, I, in shock, will watch you die. Not because
sure.
I want you to die, because I will freeze
It factors
up.
in. No, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Nicole hurt herself pretty bad recently, and it took some upkeep, and I was not useful. And somebody who can't hear stories about blood is probably something you would want to fight. You want to take that guy on if he gets faint over a little bit of blood. Now let's talk about guys you don't want to fight.
I'm weak at the knees.
All right, so just using the sounds that you have in front of you. A neck tattoo. Does that make you, do you want to fight this guy or no?
Your overall point, I'm using it backwards.
Thank you. You nailed it. Yeah. So that's, if you say yes, that means yes. That would slow me down from fighting.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about a pinky ring, Tyler? A pinky ring. No?
No, why?
They can be a bit threatening. If this guy is not worried about his masculinity.
And maybe if he had like 4 gold chains on and a few more rings, then maybe we're talking mobster, but a single pinky ring.
You're describing Mr. T. And I don't think he had any affiliations with any underground anything.
I would just
question, on the A-team.
I would just question your choice in fashion.
Okay, how about that? Okay. Which makes me want to kick your ass if I can be serious. Now, what if it has a big diamond on it? That could get you right between the eyes.
Yeah, that would look like it would hurt.
Okay, so then hit the ding.
Yeah,
Thank you. How about that?
So you're not interested in my opinion, it's just you forcing.
Do what I say, Tyler. There's a right answer to these.
It's you forcing me into the answer you want me to give.
On a motorcycle. Are you less likely to fight a guy on a motorcycle, Tyler?
You know what?
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I there's something about that. Is this guy, he has no time for seatbelts.
It could be an 80-year-old man, but if he is on a Harley and wearing aviators,
a hog, Tyler.
My brain immediately goes to Hell's Angels. Like, this dude could kill me in a heartbeat.
This guy was probably security at a Rolling Stones concert at some point in his life. What about a lower back tattoo, Tyler? No, same thing with the pinky. No. You're not thinking this all the way out. Same thing with the pinky ring. This guy, it's like the silent guy. Like, this guy's got some flowers on his lower back. He's down to fight.
What?
You heard me.
How are you making that connection?
Okay, what about anybody who's ever been in jail?
Answer my question.
It's a comedy show, Tyler. What about anybody who's ever been in jail?
Do I get to find out why they were in jail?
White collar crime.
No, then no.
There's a guy at our work and he's been in jail and he doesn't mind talking about it. And just that fact alone scares the shit out of me. He's my friend and I want to keep it that way. What if they're Asian, Tyler? Is that racist?
No,
good.
I think on average, I'm a little bit bigger than most Asians, so I'll take my chances.
Okay, well, I'm saying that there's been a lot of Asian hate in this country, and I'm glad to hear that doesn't make you want to fight.
But that's only because if they would want to fight me, I don't want to fight them. No reason to do that.
Good. You should befriend them. They're a nice people.
But on average, Asians know more martial arts than Tyler does. So
on average, everybody does. And finally, Tyler, what about a shaved head? Shaved head makes you less likely to, for sure.
Yeah.
Shaved head beard combo. I don't want none of that.
Yeah, it's like the neck tattoo. You're basically telling me you don't care what you look like.
What about a Confederate flag from their back of their truck, Tyler?
Could you just give it a second where I just insulted bald people everywhere and
You're
just steamrolled me?
Tyler,
Could you
I'm so
just
sorry.
give me a minute?
You are 100% right. I got this idea and it's not even on my show sheet. I got so excited. I launched it at you.
But also after I just sideswipe bald people everywhere, also Confederate tattoo. No, thank you.
I understand.
No, thank you.
And Tyler, I am going to do a better job listening on this show today than I normally do. Let's get it going. My name is Ryan.
And my name is Tyler.
And we are those guys you hate. What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to another Those Guys You Hate. Tyler, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm happy to be doing this again. A crazy time. We got a lot going on, and we're here doing this together. I The show is always a million times better when I listen and I don't just do show. So please, thank you for correcting me, you piece of shit. Tyler, speaking of podcasts,
Yeah,
I've been listening to Dateline.
sure.
Man, that just brings me back to a different time. A sexy saxophone was so prominently displayed in the 80s and early 90s. It ran parallel with society, Tyler.
I was just about to say the way that the Kardashians have breached every aspect of our culture.
And we've breached them.
The saxophone did that in the 80s and the 90s, as you
Absolutely. John Tesh, Michael Bolton ran wild with the sexy saxophone. Kenny G was out there doing his thing.
I was going to say, give me some Kenny G.
Now, what I learned on Dateline, the thing is, I take in so much of this information.
What I've learned on Dateline.
That's 100% true.
Why are you learning things?
Because they take you through the court approval.
I see.
They talk to you about forensics.
I thought you were going to set it up for I know how to murder, as you
No,
like to
well,
do.
I mean, if you do true crime backwards, they are telling you how to murder. That's what Don't Kill But When You Do.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, we talked about on the intro, and once we stopped recording, you told me, I find paradoxical undressing to be very interesting.
Very interesting.
Describe to people what that is. I say most people probably don't know what that is.
Well, it's when you go into hypothermic shock, when you're too cold and your body can't regulate your heat anymore. Your body will it will feel like it's burning up.
Do you know why?
I do not. Is it because of the nerve endings? Because they start to freeze almost?
When you start to get cold in those kind of terms, it takes all of the blood and brings it to your innards.
Sure.
The important parts that need to be protected.
Protecting your organs.
Exactly right. Once your body gets tired from doing that so much, it just gives up. It just can't do it anymore.
Sure.
So it releases the blood back to your extremities, which brings on a rush of heat. So when you're already disoriented and hypothermia and all that stuff, you feel like you're burning up.
Sure.
And you take your clothes off and you start burrowing.
Well, I wonder why the burrowing.
I think it's like a human, not even human, like an animal behavior.
Sure.
Where like when cats are going to die, they go crawl behind the washing machine, or it's just a human behavior. Or when bears hibernate, you burrow. You know what I mean? Nonetheless, so they find people who die of hypothermia, of being too cold, buck naked. Buck naked. One of my rap names, Tyler.
Yeah, it says I died here freezing, but I was never too afraid to party.
And so what I found out on Dateline, there was a story about a woman who had been on many, many dives, scuba dives, and she died mysteriously. And
Probably the scuba diving.
do you know what scuba stands for, Tyler?
Self-contained breathing apparatus. I forget the U.
Underwater. Very good.
Thank you.
I'm impressed.
Thank
You're
you.
just scuba. They found her. They found her equipment had been, molested, and they thought that was her husband, who was supposedly down there but far away, according to him.
Gotcha.
There is the same thing as paradoxical undressing, where scuba divers panic, and because they're hyperventilating, they rip their regulator out and will die, will drown right there. I did not know that was a thing. I found that, much like paradoxical undressing, I thought that was something really interesting.
I've never heard of that before, but it makes sense because I bet that I've never been scuba diving. I would imagine that could be very constricting.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're trying to breathe really, really fast and hard.
And you're in an environment that you're not built for, that your body is not, experienced it in most people,
What is Be Like Me for, Ryan? Unless you stop leaving your house, you're not listening to me
That's
properly.
What if you live in a pineapple under the sea? Tyler, let's do the depression index. Not my best. Not my best.
No one cares. You don't know.
Can't all be gold, Tyler.
I don't even know what to say to that. Then you'd be SpongeBob.
That seems like it wouldn't be that bad. What the depression index is a machine that I built with my hands underwater. We crank it up to let you know how down we are. Tyler, how you feeling this week, player?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I'm on day, I don't know, I stopped counting, but maybe 15, day 14 of no medication. and I'm doing fantastic.
And what is that? How is that representing itself in your life, Tyler?
Exercising almost every day.
Were you being constrained by the medicine? Like, was that stopping you from exercising?
I don't want to say that it was stopping me from exercising. The way that I see it is that medication is there as a support system. It's supposed to force you to level out because we're in such a wide disarray emotionally. I had been working on myself mentally and growing for 5, 6, 7 years now, and I've done so much work by myself. You can think of it as a physical workout where I've had these crutches to help me. I've had this support system to help me, and I've been working out on the side. When I take the medication away, that support system is gone, but now I have the strength to do it on my own.
It's great, Tyler.
Yeah.
Super happy for you.
Yeah, man.
Stop rubbing it in my face.
So
annoying.
I am, I'm not going to give the details on here because I don't want a bunch of people showing up, but this week sometime I'm going to X Club, and I am going to be performing for the very first time on stage, open mic, 5 minutes, and my sphincter is tight every time I think about doing it.
Of course.
But there's also something in me that says, you gotta do it.
I love it, man.
You gotta do it. So,
I love it. That's awesome.
So my theme for this week's session 126 is actually something you said to me one time, and I have kept it with me ever since. Do it afraid. I am terrified to do this thing, but I also know that I have to do it. So
I love it.
Ryan, this week I am at a 3.
Spin that wheel.
1, 2, 3.
And may I make a correction very quickly before I gay it up? I stole that from Joyce Meyer. That's her jam.
Well, I'm just saying that's where I heard it from you, but Joyce Meyer, thank you for that.
But I don't want somebody to hear it and be like, this motherfucker.
Sure.
The internet is always watching.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's a very good point.
This week I don't have anything written down.
And Joyce Meyer is always watching.
Oh, yes, she is. She sees you when you're sleeping. She knows
sees
when you're
all.
awake.
So this week, what? Bit of chaotic, a bit what?
I will be very honest with the chaos that is life, like what you're describing, with the ups and the downs, the undulation that is living. I'm telling you where I'm finding real growth, and I've talked about this on the show many times, is taking that fight out of my mind and moving it into my body. My body is something that I can control. My thoughts are not.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, as things are in some ways being turned up in frequency. I mean, just totally turned. I think that I am learning. Things aren't quieting down. I'm just learning to combat it better. You know what I mean?
I think it's both. I think the voices get quieter as we go. It's just relative to where we are in the moment. They sound as loud as before because they're always there, generally speaking.
Yeah, it's what, the idea of the information doesn't change. It's just your ability to take it in. In other words, I don't think that the voices or the thoughts or the confidence is ever going to change. It's just the way that I relate to it. I can't change my thoughts. I can't change the way that works. And that's okay. I can just stop running from it. So this week I am at let me pick an arbitrary number. 5. 1, 2. Yeah. Because I don't want to trust you guys with my vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
You're not very good with them. So
yeah. Well, with Ryan's, he likes to operate in a window where you just multiply his number by 4.
Sure. And I also like to operate in a window that is my neighbor's. If you guys could draw the blinds.
Yeah, that's a true story. Our neighbors at the last house actually kept a single window closed at all times because Ryan would stand in our window and look across the way into theirs.
Just to clean this up before we move on, okay?
Which I believe was their living room.
We're going to do hear ye. I will never creep up to a window and put my face up against it.
Sure.
If I am walking by and your window is open and there's anybody in there doing literally anything, I want to see it. If you're eating a sandwich and you don't know that I'm there, am I saying too much? I feel like I'm saying too much.
Just a smidge.
There's something about seeing somebody when they don't know that they're being watched.
In their natural habitat.
And they're just doing human shit like this is weird.
You also see a lot of that people when they're in the car. Lady, I can see you.
You're picking your nose up to the third knuckle. How could you not think that I'm looking at this?
And how are you doing that?
That's incredible. No, but I think that there are a lot of people out there where if you leave yourself open to be watched, I will watch you. I will never do anything to
force your view on people.
No, I would never want to take away somebody's privacy.
Sure.
But I will.
But if you're offering it up.
Oh, what's on the menu for tonight? All right, Tyler, do you know down here in Miami that sometimes there's a cold snap and iguanas, which I don't believe are native to America. I think they're from Central America.
Oh, no, I know they're invasive down here. I didn't know that they weren't.
I didn't mean America. I meant Florida. Forgive me. I don't believe they're native to Florida.
Correct. They're most of them. There's a couple that are, but most of the lizards you see down here are invasive species.
Okay, now when it gets cold, because they're cold-blooded animals, what will happen to iguanas is they will freeze up.
Mhm.
I remember hearing a story on Levitard, but not enough to where I remember exactly who it was. Somebody from like Central America collecting all of these, putting them in their car, and as they thawed out, all of a sudden it turned into, the Nutty Professor 3. You know what I mean?
You put them in your car and it's hitting 70 degrees. All of a sudden, you have a reptile zoo in your vehicle.
I've got a reptile dysfunction.
I'm proud of you, buddy.
That's got to be the show name. It just has to be. We don't say funny stuff anymore. So I'm wondering if now, much like that, I'm wondering if, how companies have bought up all of the real estate in South Florida? That's why we're going through this Armageddon of rent prices.
And by Florida, do you mean all of America?
Oh, is that a...
Oh, it's happening everywhere.
Is that a deal?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying for down here in South Florida, what I'm hoping is these people who have bought all of this property are now experiencing their very first summer. And they're like, not unlike the iguana dropping out, they're like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I don't need this.
Yeah.
You beautiful people are living on the surface of the sun. It's crazy hot right now, Tyler.
It is. Although I do see that as nature doing us a solid by getting a lot of those people out of here. We can withstand. We can withstand.
The problem is that it just sucks everywhere. Everybody's got their own problems. Like, oh, it's hot over there. My house just got picked up by a tornado.
Yeah.
Thanks for crying about it.
Yeah. I mean, New Orleans seems to be doing all right.
Could you just do your hear ye?
Absolutely. I never thought you'd ask.
I don't know why I slurred there. What's up, dog?
Hear ye, Ryan.
Could you please describe to the peeps what hear ye? I think it's self-descriptory.
Thank you.
But, we like to be inclusive here.
We make new rules for life that will make life better for all of you. And you don't even really have to go out of your way to follow these.
Mine you would. Remember when mine was no return travel? That would definitely put a little work in your life.
I mean, all of the world would have just become nomads.
That's exactly right. But think about all the time we could save, but this isn't about me.
All right, Ryan, for this week's Hear Ye. Henceforth, there will be no more follow-up questions after giving someone a gift. Oh, why aren't you wearing that necklace I got you? Because you made it from your toenails, Brenda, and you're kind of freaking me out.
Not like, hey, did you like it? Did it fit you?
Ask him when you give it. Hey, is that something you like? Afterwards.
But you're going to lie. You're going to lie to me.
So then why ask?
I need to do an investigation. I don't trust you. I don't trust anybody, really, now that I think about it, Tyler. I do portray a poor character on this show. You're right. Kat, I get it. I totally get it. Now I'm listening to myself, and what you're saying it rings true.
No more. You feel better? You got that off your chest now?
I didn't mean a word of it. We are going to fight tonight, man.
God damn it.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, how do you feel about that? Don't ask me any follow-up questions. All right, you gave me the gift. Thank you so much.
Oh, did you like that shirt for real? I honestly was doing this as shtick. I gave Tyler a shirt.
Oh, that's not what I was talking about.
For his birthday. Do you hate it? Is this the way you're trying to tell me?
No, not at all. I didn't even consider that.
It's crazy.
It was just because I saw this happen to somebody, or I was passing by in a restaurant. Oh, what happened to the bracelet? No, you gave me the bracelet. It's mine now. Stop fucking asking about it.
If I buy you a bracelet, you better wear it every single day for the rest of your life. All right, Tyler. So
get out of here.
Do the branding.
From henceforth, no more following up on gifts you've given unless they are wearing it at the moment.
That's a mouthful, Tyler.
Easy to follow, Ryan.
Say hear ye.
Not on the end, just on the beginning. You don't know how this works.
Wow, I'm going to have to take that segment over.
Good God.
It's falling apart.
Talk about taking over my segment, which you've tried to do on so many segments.
Sure. Written rules. Tyler, I have a segment, and I won't do it here. I'm sure we're running a little long. Is there a segment to be made where I or you spoil a movie? Where you and we spoil a movie, and here's why. I was talking to somebody the other day about The Mist, the Stephen King novel that got turned into a movie, The Mist.
Excellent movie.
One of my favorite endings ever. One of those movies that I loved, and I hope I never see it again.
Never want to watch it again.
Never want to see it again because
Yeah.
it just sent me into a tailspin.
Sure.
There's so many things like that out there where I loved it. Please don't show it to me. Breaking Bad, loved it. Don't ever want to feel that way again.
The movie Alpha Dog was like that for me, where I saw the end and I was like, well, I just feel like shit right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Please keep this away from me. So I was telling Nicole, and she's like, I'll never watch. I told her this is one of the best endings of a movie that I've ever seen.
Sure.
And she's like, I'll never watch it. Just tell me. And what's your take on that?
Then I'll just tell him.
It's like Cliff Notes. You know what I mean? Is there a segment there to that?
There could be. I actually have an idea in my phone that I didn't bring up with you.
Liar.
Where I'm serious. I have it written down. Weird that's.
Why would you lie?
It was a weird place to go.
I'm a liar, so I assume everybody else is.
Where our oldest brother, Mikey Menendez, loves horror movies.
Yep, that's true.
Loves them.
Yep.
You and I hate them.
P-ass-B words.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So as he so eloquently put, but you're 100% correct.
Yep.
I love the idea of you and I doing a skit, although it would have to be visual, where we watch a horror movie with Mikey Menendez. However, you and I skip through all the scary parts. And we just try to give a synopsis based on only the clips we saw. I think that would be really funny.
I love this because it reminds me so much of my childhood where we would watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, man.
And at the very end, when be sure and tell them Large Marge sent you. I'm probably saying too much about myself here. That terrified me.
Oh, yeah.
That terrified me.
Yeah.
So I would go out of the room and I would trust old Mikey Menendez, old faithful, to tell me when that part was over and to come back in. Every freaking time he got me. Every time. He's a bastard.
Why didn't you just think, okay, whatever he tells me, wait 2 minutes?
Good point. I wasn't a smart
But you were
kid.
also a child.
And I'm not a smart man. Let's take a break and let's see if we can fix that. What's going on, everybody? Ryan Menendez here. Now, I know that you're such a fan of this podcast, you already know it, but part of this advertising is me explaining shit to you that you already know. Buckle up! So much of this podcast is based on me being a total kook. Now, a bunch of people have reached out to me, and they have let me know that they want to be a kook too. Now, this isn't something that you just stumble on. It doesn't happen by accident. You gotta put in practice. 10,000 hours, am I right? So what you need to do is read the books that I read. Now, what we've done is we have signed up to work with Audible so you can read the books to become a kook like me. THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com. Now, here's what Audible wants. They want for you to go over there and get a free book that I'm offering you so you can read, you could get on board, you could sink below the waters and end up in the same place that I am. And what they're hoping is that you'll get that free book, you'll sign up, and then you'll forget to unsign up, and then they can charge you at least once, okay? You know it, I know it, we all know it. Beat the system by breaking that contract before that happens, or stay with them and continue to learn and grow and flourish like a big boy. So if you go to THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com right now, all of my reading recommendations are there. You could sign up and get the book for free, and then you have 30 days to cancel your membership, and you don't get beat on the deal. You know you won't because you're lazy. That's why you haven't moved out of your parents' house. We love you. Thank you for supporting Those Guys You Hate, and let's get back to the show.
Those guys.
There are people that are still on the fringes of society. We can still make fun of fat people. We can still make fun of bald people. We can still make fun of people who blow their extremities off of fireworks. It needs to be equality for everyone.
Can you make fun of that last
Absolutely.
group? Make fun of people who blow their extremities off with fireworks?
There was a football player who very recently blew off like 4 of his fingers, and we all had our laughs at Jean-Pierre Paul.
Did we have a laugh? I thought it was
Absolutely.
horrific, and it was a terrible invasion of privacy
Well-
because his medical records were put out there for the world to see.
If you don't want your privacy to be invaded, then be a little bit more responsible on Freedom Day, Tyler.
You hate.
Wait, I'm now arguing.
That sounds like an infringement of freedom.
I'm arguing on the other side that I started off on. I told you I'm keeping you on track,
Full
okay?
circle, baby.
I could do this. Necrophilia, a victimless crime, Tyler. Now,
Those guys you hate. Guys you hate. Guys you hate. Guys
Red circle.
it finally happened, Tyler. Finally happened.
You've decided to stop burping into the microphone?
Not that.
Oh.
Something a little bit more realistic.
Oh.
It is my AirPods finally went. The right one won't turn on. Again, we're just keeping a running total here of
We. We're keeping a running total.
The Haitian Army and I, for everybody keeping track at home. Again, it's ridiculous. How long should we expect for something to last? Because I'm pretty sure like my grandmother's refrigerator is still kicking, Tyler.
Yeah, there was.
Wish we hadn't buried her in it.
There was. Well, she couldn't get out. We couldn't open the door.
She is the best at hide and seek. Have you noticed that, Abuela?
There was a period in American culture when you would buy things for life. Buy them for life. You buy this blender, it'll last you your life.
When you say period, you mean every time before 1980, before the Reagan administration.
That's what I'm saying. Well, and back when people had, somewhat current technology. I don't mean when they were throwing rocks at each other.
Right.
But yeah, back in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, back when you would buy a refrigerator, that shit would last you pretty much your whole life.
It was built like a tank. And we, there is no such thing as a TV repair store anymore, man. Go buy a new TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the thing is, with the rise of all these different components that come with the TVs, all these different functions and the different features
and the resources that they need.
That too, and all the technology, it gives these people that are building them more avenues to get these things to break down at certain aspects. The more complex they get, the more things can break.
Well, you can't do anything to your iPhone without involving Apple. They control your product after you've already purchased it.
That's why the right to repair is
should be a law.
That's why the right to repair is such a strong movement right now. So hopefully we can get it.
I say just give the power to Comcast and let's get this thing over with.
Yeah, that'll go well.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
All right, so that means I got to go to my email and I need to.
We'll find it. Just imagine it's going on. Yes.
I'm talking about what you sent me. Now, frequency of compound insults, either poop head, scumwad, things of that nature, in Reddit comments, organized by prefix and suffix.
So, in other words, somebody has charted the data of how often compound word insults are used on, where is it? Twitter? What is it?
On Reddit.
On Reddit.
Yeah.
Those scumbags.
I would say Reddit is actually one of the more peaceful sites. And then you have on the other end of the spectrum, Twitter, which is...
I don't trust any of them.
No, you shouldn't. Nor should you ever. I'm just talking about the communique.
What are people on Twitter called? Are those twats?
They're definitely twats.
Really?
But not because they use Twitter.
Twatswaters. Now, here's the thing. I went through that and I love data. I'm subscribed to very few things. One of them is the Facts app. And the other one is these people who chart data about all different types of things and they send it to me.
I mean, totally vapid things. Like this. This is totally pointless.
I think that's interesting.
It's very interesting, but it's pointless.
Sure. Isn't life? We're just slowly dying, Tyler. We're decomposing before our eyes. Life is pointless.
That's what. Oh, wow. That was dark and
end it.
Somewhat true.
Now, here's the thing. Okay. You see the mainstays on there. So the darker the red, the more often it's used. You got dumbass. You got shithead.
Well, you got, scumbag.
You got cocksucker. And if for all the teachers listening to this in your classroom, perhaps do a few skip 30s on this one.
Well, these are words you shouldn't use, boys and girls.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I'm looking through here and I see a lot of the bigger ones. You got ass hat, which is great.
Now that is
dipshit's pretty good.
Now that's more of a new one. Okay. Now dumbass has been around forever, but you got libtard.
Well, libtard is newer, but also very rampant right now in its use.
That's what I'm saying. You got the up and comers.
Sure. What about this one's dark Reddit? I've never heard it. Shitlord.
Shit. There's a couple lords on there.
I've never heard shitlord.
I believe those
before.
are newer ones. You got ass clown. You got douche nozzle.
Dumbass is the most used compound word.
It's in the top left corner.
Top
right?
left corner.
Okay.
Correct.
Now I look at this data, and here's the thing. I have a scientific mind, okay? I think everybody who meets me says that.
Sure. I'm hearing that all the time.
People are saying that left and
Absolutely.
right. Yeah, up, down, right, and center. Now, when I look at that data, what jumps off to me is there's a lot of these that aren't being used. We could use those for me. So I went looking for some of the really white ones. You got lib sucker. Nobody's saying lib sucker.
Not at all. What about wank clown?
Wank clown.
That's a pretty good one.
That'll get you 5 to 10.
Lib nozzle. You're such a lib nozzle.
Trump goblin, or my favorite, dirt hat.
Dirt hat?
Yeah.
I see it right here.
Yeah.
Dirt hat.
Okay, so from now on.
And the one right next to that, dirt tard.
I got to tell you, this Putin, real dirt hat.
He is a dirt hat.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that maybe we could work this into the show. I like these animated statistics. I find it to be very interesting. You dirt hat.
Yeah, you're such a scum goblin.
I am a scum goblin. Thank you. I was voted most likely the scum goblin in high school.
And you achieved all that you wanted.
I absolutely have become the Cinderella story. It was good. It was bad. But most of all, it was interesting, Tyler.
Aren't you happy that I let you nail that segue this week? Because
How about
last
that?
week I just stepped all over it.
You did. This is why we can't have nice stuff, dirt hat.
Oh, that's the reason why. Ryan, you know what time it is.
Bi-weekly fun.
It is time. I knew it, you gaylord.
I just want to try it.
My, as you said, bi-weekly segment, Good, Bad, and the Interesting, where we take 3 news articles from the week, and I tell you one that's good, one that's bad, and one that I find interesting.
The first 2 he doesn't find to be interesting. He just has to do it.
They're part of the name. I got to do something
The
with
boring,
it.
the boring, and then the interesting.
And our good, Ryan.
Hit me.
Who doesn't love a good underdog story, Ryan? And after 40 years of extinction, rhinos are being reintroduced to Mozambique. I just love a good story about animals thriving again
Sure.
after they've been driven out of the area. Because Mozambique, as we all know, was in a severe civil war up until 1992. Really decimated those numbers.
Did not know that.
Neither
But
did I.
wait a minute. Why
Neither
would a civil war affect rhinos? Are they like part of the voting constituency?
I would imagine due to the violence and all the intruding on their habitat. And on top of that, of course, poaching.
Sure.
Poaching is a real problem.
Rhino horn is considered to be a sexual stimulant.
Whatever it is.
Do you just sit on it?
Pretty sure you grind it up into a dust.
and then blow it up
And
there?
that's-
I am 99% sure I've used that terrible joke on this show before.
Many times. And now I'm just picturing Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street blowing dusted up rhino horn into
Sure.
that, I'm assuming, prostitute's butthole.
Sure.
Man, that guy was living the life.
Tyler
Ryan-
ruins a movie. I like that.
That pretty much was giving away the whole movie.
Yeah.
Ryan, for our bad, and this one we should be delicate with because this one's pretty bad. Former Japanese Prime Minister.
Oh, shit, I heard
Do you hear
about
about this?
this, yeah.
Shinzo Abe has been assassinated, Ryan.
And wait a minute, this is the Japanese Prime Minister.
The former Japanese Prime Minister.
I mean, he's a former now. Sorry. This is the way I deal with stuff.
Agreed.
You're right.
You went in with such a somber face and then gave me the sarcastic
I
look
turned
with the
into
eyebrows.
friggin' Anthony Jeselnik over here. I apologize. I'm sure this is a tough time for a lot of people.
He was a former prime minister, and I don't know how Japanese politics work, but I'm guessing it's like being.
Can't be like this.
I'm guessing it's like being a president where you can only do it so many times.
Okay.
But he was campaigning to be elected to a higher office, just not prime minister.
Optimus Prime Minister. Show name?
Maybe.
How many names could this thing have, Tyler?
Or there's going to be so many hyphens in there.
So he's like George Bush. He's out of office. I mean, he's just a just a dude.
But if George Bush ran for office again, just not presidency, if he was running for Treasury Department or whatever it is, 41-year-old Yamagami Tetsuya is being reported as the killer using a homemade shotgun.
Huh.
He walked up and fired 2 blasts, which hit him in the neck, right in the artery.
Which is, you don't want that.
You don't want that.
What is a homemade shotgun?
We don't know yet. All we can. I saw the video actually of the whole thing.
You saw a guy die?
Yeah, I saw.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tyler.
yeah, I saw. Thankfully,
Tyler.
Thankfully, the video is taken from maybe a few meters away, so there is no gore. There's nothing like that. You just see the clouds of smoke pop up back to back.
I just can't, much like listening to a 911 call, I can't be in that space. I just can't. My body doesn't want to experience that.
No, and I understand, but yeah, all we could see from the video and close-up images is it was a very clearly homemade device made from wood, steel, and I think it had batteries on it as the triggering mechanism. From the scene and into the hospital, Mr. Abe was given 100 units of blood. Now, just to put that in context, you and I, healthy adult humans,
That might be pushing it a little bit.
each have 10 units of blood.
Wait a minute. You don't have more blood than me? You're bigger than me. You got to.
Generally speaking.
Okay. I'm trying to learn here, Tyler.
Generally speaking, adult humans have 10 units of blood.
So what's a unit?
It doesn't matter.
Is it like a gallon?
It's a pint, I believe. It's 500 milliliters, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'm sorry. I'm dragging this.
An adult human has 10 units of blood in their body at any given time.
Okay.
He was given 100 trying to save his life. He was given the
So
equivalent.
they're just running blood through him.
As he's losing blood out of his neck, they're trying to put more blood into him to keep him
I
alive.
think after like 30 units, you're like, we could probably spend these units in a better place.
Yeah, I guess just because of his position in politics.
Optimus Prime Minister. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Tetsuya is in police custody. He was tackled at the scene and answering questions cogently, calmly. Although
Those are the scary ones, Tyler.
it's still not known what his exact reasons were. He just said that he disagreed with it. It's being reported that he wasn't even disagreeing with his Mr. Abe's political leanings.
I just didn't like his face.
Just didn't agree with the
There's just
guy
something about him.
as a person.
And I don't know if this is in poor taste, but this was a kamikaze mission, right? He didn't expect to escape.
Oh, of course he did. They don't use guns like over there the way that they did here.
I'm saying
The way that they do here.
he didn't expect to get away. He just shot him and then what? Like
and then
just-
knew he was going to be captured.
Right,
Of course.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is some commitment that I just will never understand.
I don't, at the moment, believe in anything enough to act that way.
Yeah.
I guess thankfully.
What about that magical book written by ghosts?
I will kill you over my belief in that. Ryan, into our interesting. Ryan, you're going to be shocked to hear Elon Musk's attorney has informed Twitter that he is terminating the deal. And I am shocked, I tell you.
Elon Musk his attorney is now saying, I'm not buying Twitter.
That he is representing Elon Musk. He is saying Elon Musk doesn't want Twitter anymore.
You know, that's shocking because Elon Musk hasn't been in the news for 7 minutes. So, of course, he's done some look at me. But so maybe he never was planning on buying Twitter and he just wants to be in the freaking forefront. Elon Musk gives off some unctuousness.
Very much so. He does seem to be what they call an edgelord of sorts, wanting to see
Is that where you don't come?
That's actually true. That's another thing, though. That's a different.
I try that. I am not good at it.
God damn it. Yeah. So basically, he tanked the stock price, and now he says he wants out.
He is. Elon Musk shows the behaviors of a dirt hat.
Yes. However, I don't think it's just for attention, although he does seem to love it. But it also seems to be that this was a pump and dump, is what they call it. Please don't turn it sexual. It's where he talks up the stock price, hoping that it will rise. He sells off his stock, which he bought at a lower cost, and makes a profit. But it didn't go that way.
Good, man. I'm tired of white men getting whatever they want. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and it's also the fact that billionaires have so much money, they can alter the market in this way.
They are the market.
Exactly.
I don't know what those words mean,
But you're 100% right.
It's our whole economy is set up for people who are rich to just get richer. And again, those are all white males.
Correct.
Yeah.
Notice that.
It's something needs to be done here, Tyler, and we're gonna do it.
There is, I don't know what the plan is, but I'm on board.
I was gonna say homemade shotgun, but that's not.
That's in poor taste.
That is definitely in poor taste.
There is a $1 billion fine that they agreed upon when the contract was signed, saying if you pull out of this, Elon Musk, you must pay $1 billion in fines.
So he sorted through his couch cushions and pulled it out.
Correct. However, Twitter's board has stated that they intend to close the deal, and they will take it to the courts and force Elon Musk to buy their company.
How did they do that? Why? Because they have a contract signed? Is that the deal?
I am not a lawyer in any way.
Your Honor, give us his money.
My guess is, hey, we did this in good faith. We agreed upon this, and now obviously, through the evidence being provided by his own actions, he clearly had no interest in doing this, and he did this for his own means, force him to follow through on his deal. It's not like, hey, force him to do something he doesn't want to do. You signed this deal, dude.
Yeah, it's a breach of contract?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so what do you think is going to happen there?
Well, both sides are stating their own things, and all we're going to do is see two billionaire entities duke it out, and it should be fun to watch.
And it's. I think we're at that point where any publicity is good publicity. I genuinely, look, I don't know Elon Musk and I don't follow up on current events in the way that you do. Him being unctuous or whatever, he does seem to really enjoy the spotlight. Like, I'm sure maybe I would in that scenario.
Absolutely.
Or I don't even mean to take shots at him, but.
Well, and especially think about his upbringing, where he wasn't some.
I can't. I don't know.
He wasn't. But what I mean by that is he didn't come up through the ranks as some rock star. He came up through the ranks as a nerd.
Was his where did his money come from? He's a self-made millionaire?
Well, no, his family had money, but when he went to college, he started up a company, which we talked about. I think it was like X.com,
right,
and sold it for $1 billion. So his family did have money, but he also
did his thing.
He did his thing.
Okay, and that's respectable. And if you come up with an idea that you can sell for $1 billion, I say good on you.
But the way
knock it off, you and your kid bleep blorp.
The way that he is manipulating the market and fucking over so many individuals in the process.
How is he fucking them over? Just because I don't understand finance.
If you have money invested in Twitter, and then this guy comes in and with a single tweet, when he signed the deal to buy Twitter, the stock was $52 a share. Now after all of this, however many weeks later, it's 36.
Oh wow!
People have lost millions of dollars, billions of dollars.
That's and this worked out for him. If this all comes to where he wants it to be,
depending on how it works out in the end of this, there's a part of me that hopes he gets his comeuppance. But on the other side of that, it would be Twitter winning, and that's kind of a loss for everybody.
Good God, who do we root for nowadays, man?
Nobody.
Who do we root for?
You root for dual self-immolation.
Society is pumping and dumping us, Tyler.
That is so.
We have been
so
pumped and dumped. We have been come and go'd. We have been pound and then leave. I don't know how to make the last one rhyme.
We've been ass-hatted, right?
We've been dirt-hatted. We're left holding the dirt hat.
That's the one.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it plays out. Really, at the end of the day, we're going to see some billionaire lose. So hurrah. And that, Ryan, is GBI. Actually, wasn't my intention, a depressing GBI.
It isn't. I mean, if you just pay attention to life, that's what it is. Just a mild depression.
But Rhino's coming back to Mozambique, Ryan.
Mozambique, my home away from home.
That's a win for everybody.
That is true. We love animals, and humans have just desecrated the planet and the animals, and we're in the plants and the trees, and we're just doing it. So
yeah, and they
good on you, rhinoceroses.
Kill so many sharks a year, millions of sharks, and what are rhinos other than just land sharks?
Land sharks. Yep. Land sharks. Big old fat unicorn land sharks. Tyler, as you can tell, we've run out of things to say.
Very clear.
When we say big old fat unicorn land sharks, you know that the show is over. So
there's that we again.
Whenever you say it, I'm like, this guy sounds like an idiot. Great job.
Thank you.
Per usual.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it. Please tell them how to reach out and touch us.
Touch ourselves?
I was going to do it.
Sometimes I like to do it myself, baby. Don't worry about it.
We better end this show quick.
Yeah, we do. We do. Go to THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com. No, we're not there touching ourselves, but you can subscribe to all our pages. Thank you so much, and we love you.
What is the moral of the story, Tyler?
I'm just going to continue on with what I said into my depression index, which is do it afraid. Sometimes these things feel like I don't even want to be as dramatic and say leap of faith, but it is jumping off the high dive, which I feel like I'm going to be doing this week. And just know that it can't hurt you. It can't hurt you. All you can do is grow from the experience.
It can hurt you, but that hurt isn't something that actually exists. I mean, it can disturb you on the inside, and it's how you respond to that.
Yeah, but it can make you feel uncomfortable, but it's not going to hurt you.
Some of my anxiety feels like physical pain, Tyler.
Exactly, and that's how we grow past it.
Don't diagnose me.
Doing new things. So, Ryan, what is the moral of the story?
So at the end of The Mist, this guy jumps in a car and he drives. I mean, he kills his son right before he gets rescued. Yeah, that's spoiler alert. Perhaps I did this in the wrong way.
Yeah.
We are those guys you hate.
He kind of will kill you? Red circle.
The thing with the food trucks is,
yeah, what was the problem?
Back when food trucks first started, it was an experience. You know what I mean? It was like flying on a plane. Back when it happened, everybody wore a hat and a suit, and it was nice. It was like gourmet almost.
It was a very communal experience.
For sure.
Almost like when Pokemon Go first came out. It was like, man, everybody's out here doing this.
I'll allow it.
Thank you so much.
This is why your friends don't like me. And
That's the reason.
Yeah, that's
Ryan's gonna meet a close friend of mine tonight who is
nervous.
Who has just developed this love but mostly hate relationship.
You didn't say that at first.
With the character of Ryan,
which is Ryan.
Yeah.
I wish you hadn't have told me that for sure.
I know she loves you, but hates you.
Is she upset that I'm coming?
No, she's so excited to meet you, but she might yell at you a little bit.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll strike a stranger. No, but so here's the thing. They used to be really gourmet.
Yeah,
and that was the thing. You're getting a slice of a really nice restaurant at a fraction of the cost because you don't have to buy everything else that comes with a meal.
Well, and it's this brand new thing. So when it had first started, as you said, everybody was going big and going glamorous and everybody had the freshest ingredients.
Yeah, exactly. And they were, like I said, trying to give you a slice of something, that you wouldn't normally have.
Sure. And got creative with the food.
Right. Mm-hmm. And yeah, these young upstarts are putting it in a truck now, So, but the thing is, this one we went to, there was only 5 of them there. So number one,
oh, that's sad.
You're not getting the selection that you would like because you want to, hey, let me get a lobster roll over here. Let me get some cheesecake over here. Let me just try a bunch of little stuff. Mm-hmm. Not just that.
Tapas from different trucks.
Tapas from around the mapas. And the thing that's what we're going to be doing today, Tyler.
You heard it here first, folks.
Strap it on, kids.
No.
In the general term. In the general.
It's bad no matter the term.
It's like calling girls guys. You know what I mean? You don't actually mean kids.
No, just let's move on.
Strap it on, tots. Now, here's the thing. Also, in that scenario, you're not getting a huge cross-section of food, but you're also having to endure longer lines.
Yes.
So it just wasn't the right vibe. Now, here's the deal.
What kind of food?
They had like a seafood plate. You got a seafood one, you got a barbecue one, you got whatever. But much like the red light district in Amsterdam,
go on.
The further that you got down from the entry point, the worse off it got. Like when you get down to
you've been a man of taste in the red light district.
I've made it to the end, if that's what you're asking.
Almost like it's a bar crawl and you've made it to the last destination.
I was in Amsterdam and I was in such a bleeped up place that my buddy, the drummer, Josh, brought us to the red light district without mentioning anything. I had a full-on panic attack. I got to the end of the red light district. I'm uncomfortable in those situations.
What situations?
People selling sex, Tyler. It's something I'm not accustomed to.
But they're behind glass doors.
Not all of them.
Of course.
Some of them had escaped their cages.
They do venture out sometimes.
They had merged out with us townies.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So
I could just see the sadness and the regret on your face.
Well, it's like going to a strip club. I feel uncomfortable. I'm a man who has chased women a big portion of my life. And then when women are just like selling it to me, I don't know what to do. What do I do with my hands?
You give them money.
That's what you do with your hands.
That's what you do with your hands.
I understand.
Yeah.
So to round this all up, we went out to dinner and Anthony came and met us with his 2 kids. So we all went out. We got a table for 9.
Sure.
I set this whole thing up. I invited everybody out.
Ooh.
I ended up all the way at the edge of the table with the 2 kids in front of me. So I couldn't hear any of the conversation.
Sure.
I was totally boxed out.
Well, not the adult conversation. You weren't on the kids' conversation.
The kids we're talking to each other very quietly, might I add. So I wasn't even part of that.
What were they talking about?
I have no idea. I assume it concerned Roblox, but I couldn't be certain. The music was very loud. Our waiter was angry. I immediately, like literally to the point where I'm like, you okay, man? You all right?
Yeah.
And that changed things around a little bit, but it's just,
showed up angry. Not angry at you, just showed up to the table already irate.
Some of the people that we are with in that group are kind of dickheads. And I mean that in the most beautiful way.
No, I do. That's not how that works.
I could be a dickhead sometimes. That doesn't make you a bad person.
But they are not dickheads. They just can display dickhead behavior.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something that happened and you tell me if these are dickheads.
Oh, boy. You're about to trap me in a corner, aren't you?
I put in the reservation for us and we had to wait. Our stepfather, not pleased with it. I mean, he was just in a mood. He was just taking shots like, I can't believe I mean, he had tanked the restaurant experience before we ever sat down.
Got it.
At the very end, he was like, this was nice. And I'm like, I'll punch you in the face. But I put in the reservation, went and stood outside Thursday night. That's how it goes. 4 separate people went in and checked on the reservation while we were waiting.
Wow.
In the 30 minutes that we were waiting.
Wow.
where they could have gone to the bar. Everybody could have done whatever they wanted. So I'm just saying that's dickhead behavior.
But first of all, can I just point out, ma'am, do you realize how entitled I am? You should give me a table right now because you don't realize how high this entitlement goes.
I'm pretty sure she realized the entitlement when the fourth installment of Is My Table Ready Yet? No, we will text you. That is the way that this works.
Sure.
You don't need to keep checking.
Sure.
I will text you. No, she finally cleared a high top because she's like, I can't deal with this crap.
Human link. Human link. Sink your arms and we'll deliver the message instantly.
Red Rover, send that table right over.
Yeah.
So just to end the story, I am on the edge of the table. I am cut out of all adult conversation. I'm the one who put this together and I'm upset about it. How could this happen to me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why? What? Like literally, what just happened here? And with that being said, I used it as an opportunity to be like, dude, you're okay.
Yeah.
You taking the hit so that these people down here it can enjoy themselves. That is like speaking Latin in my mind. I don't understand it, and I used it as an opportunity to grow that a little bit. And I tried to go through the whole night without being like, this kind of sucks. And I almost made it. I said it one. I was like, man, I wish I wasn't all the way down here. And I'm like, damn it, Ryan.
But it's a victory.
It was.
Yeah.
It absolutely was.
Yeah.
And I didn't take it home with me. It was all good.
And that is so weird because our stepfather called me after that instance. I wasn't able to make it, unfortunately, and said, man, the people on my end of the table, we just clicked on like anything we've ever done before.
RJ looked like he was having such a good time. I mean, he was just chopping it up down there. And I'm like, you son of a bitch.
He was lighting up the table.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that guy's got whatever it is, he's got it.
All right. So we're only 7 minutes in. Can I get something off my chest
Please
if I can
do.
segue into
Please
something?
do.
Ryan, there's a certain aspect of myself that I am becoming that I don't like. I don't like. I'm growing as a person. I've grown as a human.
What are you like 6'4" now?
Before your eyes, 6'4", yes.
Sure.
Before your eyes, I've grown. Think of who I was 5 years ago and who I am now.
I've watched him that whole time. You know what I mean?
Creepy.
Yep.
I have realized recently that I am becoming a thumbs up guy.
You just
What the fuck,
you
man?
just delivered that to me as a magician would pull a pigeon out of his hump.
I'm hoping you can, much like a magic trick, solve my problem.
What's wrong with thumbs up?
It's so cheesy.
Like, give me the context.
I did it to you earlier today. Did you not see it?
Where was I on the other side of the
No, we were talking to each other, but I pulled it back at the very last minute.
I didn't even notice it.
Oh,
I don't
good.
think there's anything wrong with a thumbs up. I'll give people a thumbs up.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I like
Thank you for your support.
service. Oh,
No, just support.
I work in a restaurant business as I've chronicled often on the show. I like an unspoken confirmation from across the room. You good? Okay.
That's what middle fingers are for.
Really? Yeah. My boss asked me not to do that. I think you're fine with it, but if it's something you don't like, weed it out.
How?
Just beat yourself up until your behavior changes.
I knew it.
Yeah.
This will all work out eventually.
Honestly, this applies to so many things, Tyler. I'm nervous about tonight.
Why?
I don't know. I just, I don't know, going with somebody who already hates me. I usually like to work into that.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not a clubber. You know what I mean? Unless baby seals are involved, I don't do a lot of clubbing.
Sure. You look great in red.
Thank you. I like it spattered.
I'm really happy you said that.
Like my hash browns at Waffle House.
Because I'm a little nervous for tonight as well.
For sure. Yeah. They're very similar when it comes to that. I think you want to be like, yeah, I'm going out clubbing. Tyler and I are going to one of the most
prestigious upscale clubs in the country.
And no brag, like we both said, we're nervous about it. Like, man, I hope I'm really cool tonight.
Yeah.
Just tonight, because I know tomorrow I won't be, but just tonight.
Please don't make me look like an idiot in front of all these people that I don't know and will never see again.
Rick Ross needs to leave with the right impression of me. But here's the thing. I just...
Oh, yeah. Rick Ross is performing today.
Ricky Rose.
Because you said his name. I'm sure people are like, why would Rick Ross care?
There are so many Rick Rosses down here in Miami, just based on looks alone. So the thing is, you go to... I'm not familiar with what's considered a faux pas. Very often I find myself in these situations. I'm like, this is what people are always talking about, huh? This is a club. How about that?
Almost like you're at a human zoo and you're looking at an exhibit.
Yeah. All right. I'm ready to go back home. You guys ready? This is crazy, wasn't it? All right.
Well, you'll be happy to know, and this is not coming off as a brag.
Oh,
I'm just
boy.
informing you that one of my friends, Cat who hates you,
I'm gonna win her back. I'm gonna win her back for the first time.
She has gotten us a table tonight, and it's up on the patio, away from all the main,
all the prying
stuff,
eyes of the paparazzi.
all the main stuff. So we'll be off to the side.
Okay.
We'll be enjoying our secludedness, as it were. It'll
much,
be cool.
Much like the proverbial table that was actually verbial that I was sitting at. I am making a dedication to just enjoy myself tonight.
For
no matter what
sure.
happens, I'm sure I'll be anxious.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be weird shit happening, and I just want to go with the flow.
This
It's
is
all good.
Miami. There's
Really?
guaranteed to have weird shit happening.
For sure.
And what's the difference between anxiety and excitement?
Cocaine?
Well, okay, sure. Your
The way you're filtering it.
your
I know, Tyler.
perception
I
of
knew
it.
what you wanted.
You
I
gave me
wanted to-
those wild kooky eyes. I
That's the
wasn't
cocaine,
sure.
Tyler. Let's do the show.